Oh, you talking to me? Well, hi there, stranger. Forgive me, I'm not used to people coming up to me, especially not attractive ones. You're not from around here, are you? Otherwise, I'm sure you would have been noticed before, but no offense, you don't really seem to fit in with the crowd. But folks tend here to have some unique qualities, very much stay to themselves, people. They can sense an outsider from miles away, so do your best to be careful. Oh, this is your hometown. I see. After fleeing the nest, you've come back for a brief visit. Somebody your age wouldn't find much around these parts. Everyone tends to move to bigger cities once they're old enough, and they only come back every now and again. Well, that's the fate of a small town, but I think the people like it that way anyway. Nothing changes, and the elders they still get to make they still set the rules that we all follow. It stays quiet, and nobody cares to speak up against the choices that are made. Most towns share a similar mindset to that regard. They prefer their secluded communities and keep things the way they are. Humans tend to be terrified of change, after all. They always have been, anyway. Funny, isn't it? How people like to think they've gone so far, developed and incorporated in so many new things in society, but still deep down it's exactly the same being, driven by the same motivators, sharing the same fears. People like to consider themselves complex, but I suppose they are in some ways, but deep down, the more you dig, the more you find the same core within everyone. Same urges, needs, desires, yearns for love, approval, hunger, thirst, their fears, confidence. Still, they're all so quick to judge, to ignore somebody in need, because they deem that person worthy of help, or unworthy, I guess, in that instance. Because surely, if they work harder, they'd be better. They wouldn't be in such a bad situation, now would they? Oddly, some use that same merit for themselves. Maybe they want to believe that life is fair, that people get that what they deserve, and then in the end, there will be some kind of reward or punishment for their behavior depending on their behavior. Randomness is a terrifying thought, isn't it? The idea that nothing actually matters. It's much easier to believe that there's a reason, a good and a bad, a choice that makes a difference. People that need, in a way, because it wouldn't be fair to see evil succeed and to see a good person struggle. What would be the point of being good in the world like that? What would be the point in trying? Humanity is really fascinating. So simplistic yet so complicated at the same time. In a way, they remind me of ants, hustling, bustling about, each trying to contribute to the colony whilst attempting to keep themselves alive. They fear to look further than the comfort of their own home, the warmth of familiarity, and sometimes they get lost. They need one another, but hunger and yearn for more drives out into the wilderness, where they can't care for themselves anymore, where they can end up exposed to the elements, to predators, all alone with no self-confidence or no sense of self. Or perhaps if they're lucky, they stumble upon a new colony, call themselves a home. I suppose everyone is searching for something. Ants and humans are alike in that way. But the question is always, what? What about you, stranger? What is it that you're looking to find? You too appear to be a bit lost within yourself, as though you don't really know what you want. It's clear you're craving something: company, love, greatness, a distraction, punishment. When you think about it, how many others might feel exactly the same way you do? People always seem to think their struggles are unique, as though nobody would ever be able to understand them. I wouldn't you wouldn't believe just how many people have their near identical experiences with one another. The same feeling of lacking something, discouragement whispered into their heads, nightmares keeping them alive and awake. Humans are interesting creatures. Somehow they're all so similar, and yet they are all entirely different. Though perhaps they're not as unique as they'd like you to think. After all, they carry nearly all the same things within themselves that their ancestor did so long ago, in one way or another. Not only in appearance, but behaviors too. So perhaps without realizing it, they laugh the same way their great great grandmother did, or hold a pen the way their distant relative in the 19th century used to. Your preferences, your taste, the way you see the world, the way you walk, the way you dress, your favorite scent, favorite color, texture, even the single cone and speck in your eyes. All of those things aren't uniquely yours. And if you were introduced to every person in your bloodline, you'd be surprised at just how many traits you'd find mirrored in others. Still, there's probably nobody who's exactly like you. That's what makes you different. The fact that others only have pieces of that beautiful puzzle you are. But does that make you less unique? Since you are just a composition of everyone that came before you? If you think about it, your entire being is a story, a love letter to people long gone, or perhaps a biography of pain and mistreatment. You may never know. All those memories, after all, they're lost, and there's no way you can retrieve them. You don't have any ability to go back in time and see that for ourselves, to ask those who have passed. That kind of power is not for us, and even if it was, people might only abuse it. On a similar note, though, I wonder if you were a god, what would you do with that influence? Would you destroy the humanity? Would you try to guide them towards a better world? Or will you simply watch and study them? See what they come up with in their own heads? And just how much of their success and failure is truly a tribute to you? Would you play favorites? Rile them up against one another? Have them fight for your own entertainment? Or would you just end world hunger and bring peace among humanity? It's a silly hypothetical, but you'd be surprised at how many different answers I get. Perhaps it's something about how you grew up, or your own desires. Maybe it's a reflection of what you believed you deserve, or how you see those around you. Your empathy, your deepest fears, your strongest emotions. Especially since you're partaking, merely an observer, able to influence outcomes and possibilities, give blessings and curse those who deem unworthy. A strange thought, isn't it? an uncomfortable thing to consider. It raises the question of how much control gods would have, how much free will a person really is given. People like to give their thoughts and choices on their own, that they have control over what they do. But I suppose we may not ever know for sure. I'm beginning to like you, stranger. You have an honest stance that most others lack. You believe in the good of the people, and maybe that's why you came to me, because you think you can fix whatever is you deem broken. Or perhaps my mystery caught your eye. I don't think I'm fixable anymore. Though I do admit, the company's nice. I tend to spend most nights alone. I have for a very long time. Always a stranger, hopping from one town to the next, never quite fitting anywhere. But I've never dared to move to a bigger city. They tend to be too much for me. Too much irritating lights and colors and smells, noises, all that. And I'd miss being able to see the night sky. The stars still give me a sense of comfort, a feeling of belonging that I've never felt anywhere else. uh, I'm not sure why I'm telling you all this, to be honest. I guess that's what happens when you get approached by a lonely drunk. They just talk. A tradition that has been upheld for centuries, but in the end, it doesn't really matter what I tell you. You too will forget about me eventually. Whether that be tomorrow or in a year, it'll mean nothing in the trajectory of your life. And the next time you visit here, I'll probably be gone already. Because somebody like me can only ever stay for so long without being noticed. To be an outsider will only be tolerated for a certain amount of time. I suppose, in a way, I'm running away from myself, still seeking the comfort of people attempting to escape the loneliness, even though I never quite managed to find that either. You've been the first person to talk to me in many years, and I'd like to thank you for that. I don't understand why you do it, but not many souls have your purity and curiosity. In a way, you remind me of somebody. Your presence feels vaguely familiar, like the melody of a song I'd almost forgotten. I forget I said anything. Some things are just best left in the past. Don't you agree? You know, you're not so different, you and I. I guess I've become just another person. A simple being yearning for approval, for the company of another soul, even if they don't understand. It's difficult, but I imagine that you know the feeling as well as I do. In the end, even a fallen god is nothing more than another human, at least for the most part. Enough of that, though. I'd rather not take up any more of your time. You have so little. Make it count, stranger. You might just be able to do something with your life. See you around, I hope.